Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here, and welcome to another episode of Jambareeqi Cinema, the show where I talk about films that have hit UK cinemas. In this episode, I'll be discussing the new live-action remake of Disney's Dumbo. Now, this film hit UK theatres at the end of March, but I've only just had a chance to go see it. When a soldier called Holt, played by Colin Farrell, comes back home to the circus he performed as a cowboy for, he discovers that there's been many changes made by its ringmaster Max, portrayed by Danny DeVito, and his kids are shocked to learn that their dad lost an arm in battle. With horses no longer being part of Max's circus, Holt is assigned to being the elephant keeper. Max is also very excited to introduce a new elephant called Jumbo, whose baby will serve as an act. But the ringmaster is annoyed to learn that the new elephant infant has giant ears. Jumbo's baby, who gets named Dumbo, is thrown into the circus ring only to be bullied and tormented. Jumbo tries to protect her son, but is labelled as a mad elephant and sold off to another circus. When Holt's kids discover that Dumbo can use his giant ears to fly, they plan to use the baby elephant's talent to make enough money to buy Jumbo back. Dumbo becomes such a huge success that eccentric entertainer V.A. Vanderveer, played by Michael Keaton, creates a joint contract with Max, taking Max's troupe to his extraordinary grand-scale theme park, where Dumbo will be the star attraction and acrobat Colette will ride him around the ring. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the original Dumbo. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate it. I think it's a cute and charming movie with a moving mother-son relationship, but it's also very flawed. Its focus is uneven, its view on using animals for circuses is too vague, and the final resolution it went with left me feeling unsatisfied. In all honesty, I can tell that the film was produced by Disney's short film department because the narrative feels like a bunch of shorts stitched together. If you want to know my opinions of the original Dumbo in detail, I've linked my written review of it on my blog site in the description box below. So, because of my opinions on the original Dumbo, I wasn't as upset as everyone else when it was announced that it was getting a remake. I was hoping for story improvements to help make it a stronger movie. I also thought that Tim Burton was the ideal choice for director, because these films are often about outcasts like Dumbo, and they frequently reference the circus. This Dumbo remake does have a clearer direction and a more solid plan for reuniting the mother and son, a stronger stance on animal exploitation in circuses, and an ending that wraps everything up very neatly. The problem is though, it didn't emotionally resonate with me. I simply didn't care about what was happening in this remake. Like a lot of these live-action remakes of Disney animated films, so much of it comes across as phoned in, like it feels obligated to hit certain notes or reference beloved iconic scenes. The heart and magic isn't here. The colours are drained away for a lot of scenes, which fits the darker moments, but not every scene needs to be this serious and grim. You can tell that this is Tim Burton indulging in his trademark style more than anything. Characters keep making whimsical statements about dreams, hope, and believing in yourself, not because it has something special to say, but mainly because it thinks it has a duty to preach the Disney mantra, and this makes any attempt at a message seem insincere. The human circus performers also get bigger roles, but not that big. Each of them are only defined by the act that they perform, yet the film wants us to become attached to them and believe in their love for Dumbo. But they are pretty much sidelined for most of the film, reduced to roles where they only chip in one-liners or make jokes about their talents. As harsh as it sounds, I wasn't that bothered what would happen to them in the long run. Then we have the acting. Danny DeVito is excellent as a sleazy ringmaster who gradually develops mercy for animals, plus Colin Farrell is decent as a war hero trying to regain his identity as a father and cowboy, seeming like a man growing tired of humiliation and hopelessness. Eva Green is likeable enough as the confident yet compassionate Colette. But everyone else in the film? The children give very strange, understated performances, particularly the daughter, often not showing the right emotions when they need to. I heard that the same kind of complaint was directed towards Alice in Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. The talented character actors cast as the circus performers are wasted in their thin roles, but the worst actor has to be Michael Keaton. I have no idea what his direction was, but I'm baffled by what he was supposed to be going for. I get that his character is meant to be eccentric, but his performance was so over the top that he almost turned into a Looney Tunes cartoon by the finale. It's probably more ridiculously hammy than his Beetlejuice character. The biggest issue that I have with Dumbo is that it's way too bloated. It's trying to turn a 65-minute film into a sweeping 2-hour epic, and I could tell that it was struggling to make its length seem justified. Adding in details and scenes that weren't exactly necessary, many of which I can't really explain without giving spoilers. This Dumbo remake consistently tries to turn everything into a spectacle or dramatic conflict just to make it seem more eventful than it needs to be. I'm guessing that everyone wants me to talk about the elephant animation. Well, the adult elephants look good, they're very realistic without stepping into Uncanny Valley territory too much, but Dumbo, well, he is cute, but he's been heavily humanized. Which might give him an emotionally readable face, but making a realistic looking baby elephant act and express himself more like a human does come off as a little creepy. It doesn't help that his cries and noises sound a bit, demonic? To me at least. To conclude, I had meh feelings about Dumbo. It's certainly overbloated, gimmicky and phoned in, but I didn't find it as boring as the Beauty and the Beast remake. There's some entertainment to come out of the spectacular circus sequences, and Danny DeVito steals the film as its best actor. This is not a film that will change the public's perception of Disney's recent string of live-action remakes. It's yet another film that was clearly made with money in mind rather than heart. But I appreciate its attempts at fixing the flaws that I had with the original. I've been Jambareeqi, and I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast review. If you did, then feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Cheerio, folks.